Hey folks, Pickle here with another Codex of Power early aspect farming guide, this time for a companion-focused druid build. Sadly, most of the companion-specific aspects are not obtainable from the Codex, and I'll touch on those at the end of the video, but I still think this build should work well. During Server Slam weekend, we were very limited on what aspects we could obtain, and the build still felt pretty good then. So this should open it up even more with the launch and having the other zones available to get the other aspects in the Codex. Okay, taking a quick look at the skill tree and just the starting build that I was playing around with in the Server Slam, and this is where I'll be building from when the game launches. But I was going Storm Strike in the basics. Core skill, I went with Pulverize. Earthen Bulwark for some defense. Then all three of the companion skills. Wolves, Poison Creeper, and Ravens. So those will be the 6 skills on my bar. No ultimate again. And then we'll probably just fill in a bunch of passives, the extra points. Key passive, I don't know what will be best really. But we'll just have to play around there, see which one will work out best. And then just a quick peek at the spirit boons. A lot to play with here, but looking at wariness and deer, skith talons in the eagle, obsidian slam for snake, and then double up in the wolf for pack leader to energize. Here is the overview of all the aspects I'll be targeting to farm early when the game launches. Keep in mind that each gear slot can only be imbued with certain types of aspects, so it's important to do a little bit of planning to be able to squeeze all the aspects you want to use into your gear set. You don't want to waste crafting materials and gold early on by having to move an aspect from one slot to another. In the Helm slot, I went with Aspect of Mending Stone, which increases the duration of Earthen Bulwark by 6 seconds, as well as replenishing your barrier each time you kill an enemy. This one can be found in the Sealed Archives dungeon in the Dry Steppes. I stuck Eluding aspect on chest. This one reminds me of a passive version of the World of Warcraft PvP trinket. If you become injured when you are crowd controlled, this aspect will grant you an unstoppable and break you free. This can be found in Caldera's Gate in Fractured Peaks. I had a hard time deciding on this slot. Some other options would be Aspect of Disobedience, which can be found in Halls of the Damned in Kehjistan, or perhaps Skinwalker's Aspect, which can be obtained from Fading Echo, Kehjistan as well. The gloves get a nice offensive aspect here. The Ursine Horror, which turns Pulverize into an Ur skill. It also adds a small 2-second dot to the ability. This one is in Belfry Zakara in the Hawezar zone. Aspect of the Protector in the Pants slot. This is a powerful early defensive aspect that grants a barrier when fighting elites. Venture into the Lost Archives dungeon of Fractured Peaks to obtain this one. Aspect of Quicksand on boots, which will slow enemies damaged by your Earth skills. This one isn't overly exciting, probably one of the first on the chopping block for me, but it can be found in Pharaoh's Den and Scosglen. The Shepherd's aspect in the Amulet slot with the 50% bonus. This gives a big boost to our core skill based off of how many companions we have active. The aspect of Umbral on first ring, which restores 1 spirit when we CC an enemy. With the Druid, I definitely felt resource starved during the beta weekends, so I think some decent regen is going to be needed. This one can be found in Champion's Demise in Dry Steppes. Second ring, I went with an offensive, although I may want to double up on a second resource generator here, because the ring slot is the only slot that can host a resource aspect. But for now, I have the aspect of Retaliation penciled in, which increases the core skill damage based on your Fortify. This one is located in Seaside Descent and Dry Steppes. Then the ballistic aspect on the offhand, which grants 2 ranks to our Earth skills whenever we have Fortify. This is in Whispering Pines and Scosglen. And finally, for the main hand, if I can maintain enough crafting mats and golds to swing it, I'll try to keep the Crash Stone aspect here. This one increases crit damage to CC targets with our Earth skills. These next aspects can't be added to the Codex of Power. I'll be trying to focus on getting these with gambling with obols and farming for gear. The aspect of the Alpha, this converts your wolves into werewolves and increases their damage substantially. Aspect of the Stampede gives 1 additional companion, as well as some bonus damage. The aspect of the Wild Rage extends the key passive of Bestial Rampage to our companions. The Bestial Rampage key passive gives 20% attack speed and 20% increased damage. And the Shockwave aspect looks quite nice for builds with Pulverize as well. But that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and good luck in Sanctuary.